couple of years down the road, you have gotten really into astronomy.
Okay. Like I got a telescope and shit.
Yeah, you got into it because you had a roommate for a little while, and when he moved out, he left behind this like really big telescope.
Okay.
And you didn't even know that he had it. You just like went in one day and there's just like a gigantic telescope inside his room, and it's like pointed out the window, and you're like, huh? And you walk over and you're like, what the heck is this? And you look through it.
Oh no, is he snooping? Is he snooping?
So what you actually see is the most beautiful sunset that you have ever seen in your fucking life.
Wow.
There's different hues coming through. There's orange, burnt orange. For a second, you like it's the orange is so burnt that first, just a second, you instinctively like flinch backwards. Like you touch something really hot.
Oh, fuck you. Brr, brr, Hugh's coming through.
There's beams of light tinged with yellow, and at this time of the day, that yellow you see it like slowly, almost imperceptibly turn to like gold. You know,
A golden hour.
yeah. You watch the sun like kind of lazily, like it's taking its time. You know how like almost like it's trying to like look over the horizon and still see the earth.
Gotcha. A little tentative. Hmm.
Yeah. And you look at it, and for a second, the thought of not being able to see these like just beautiful colors of the sun just fills you with like a sad sort of emptiness. But just for a second, it's coming back.
Yeah.
The sun disappears behind the mountains in the distance, and you're like, whoa. You're kind of like stunned for a second. And you're like, what else? Then you're like, whoa. And then you kind of let the telescope kind of like fade down a little bit, goes down, and you look through it, and it's just now it's like looking directly into the apartment of like this big fat dude. You just see his butt. He's like totally nude.
Great. Great. How wonderful. The dichotomy of life, right?
Yeah. And when you look at this guy for just a second, the color of this man's butt, it's the same burnt orange color that you just saw earlier. And so,
This guy has a burnt orange ass.
yeah,
God,
yeah.
that sounds like a problem.
So this guy does reverse sun tanning, where what you do is instead of like wearing like swim trunks, and like tanning the rest of his body, he covers the rest of his body and he doesn't wear any pants. So
What the fuck?
so he only tans like the his bathing suit region basically. And
Wait,
so
what about his lower legs and feet?
no, those don't get tanned.
Wait, he has on
Reverse.
a shirt, and then the next article of clothing is like from the knee down.
Yeah, so he has no so yeah, so he's his entire everything that like should be covered isn't. So he only tans like his like dick and ass and like his like legs, but only a certain part. Only from about the knee up to like his waist. That's the only part of his body. It's like the
So,
newest trend.
but what? So he just has like the legs of pants covering his calves?
Yeah, the rest of his body is covered in like towels. So like no,
Oh,
so the
okay.
rest of his
So he's
body is
nude
pale.
underneath.
He's nude. He's completely nude. However, the only part of him
Okay.
that's been tanned is his like bathing suit area,
I thought
front
you were
and
saying
back.
I thought you were saying he was like wearing clothes during
No,
this.
no,
He's
no,
got
no.
towels over him.
Yeah. And so
Man, that sucks.
his like ass is like that
I
burnt
don't
orange. And like again, even though you know that it's not, you flinch away instinctively as if it's just
his ass is hot.
burning because it's hot because his ass looks like it is burned beyond belief. This guy was out in the sun for a long time.
That sucks.
Yeah. So you're like, oh, whatever. So after that, you decided to kind of, get into astronomy. You go out to the different like, peaks around town, the highest spot that you can get to be able to see the stars. Sometimes you go out into like very isolated areas. Sometimes you're out for hours, You just get like really, really into it.
I'm into this.
Part of it is that you almost feel like you're chasing a dragon, You're chasing that initial, you know, you think of it as like the sun doing a performance. And even though, everyone on Earth can see the sun, that's what, like 7 or 9 billion people. Every time you see that sunset, you whisper to yourself, do it for me. It's like you're the only person that the sun is like setting for.
That is upsetting.
The other part of
Oh,
it is that so you have like neighbors who have like really loud sex.
great.
And
I have
so
that now.
you're like, you're just kind of trying to find excuses to be out of the apartment more.
Is
Um
that frequent?
it's not necessarily that it's yeah, I mean they do keep a pretty regular schedule, but like it's more that it's just really loud.
Yeah, but if it
And
was like only a limited number, it would be something that probably would be manageable. But it sounds like it's happening. You said they keep a schedule.
like I mean like it happens every day. And sometimes it's like, wham bam thank you ma'am type of situation. Sometimes though it is passionate.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. I'd have to say something at some point. If they're fucking that loud
So what would you do?
every day that I would probably bang on the wall and then while they're in the middle of it, and I go, "Hey, come on," you know, something like that,
They don't really
or like
react.
well, I don't fucking know. I don't know what I could do. Okay, I would find out who lived there and I would talk to them when I see them. I sit on the porch a lot, and they walk by. I would go, "Hey, are you the ones that are loudly having sex every single day? Like you know who you are."
Yeah.
Because
So
and I would say it's very disruptive. Like, come on.
yeah, the neighbors walk up. It's this dude and this like lady. They seem to be about your age, you know, and you kind of go like, "Excuse me," and they like look over at you, and you're like, "Hey, you kind of like say all that are you guys the ones who are having really loud sex?" And they're like, and they kind of like sigh, like the woman like sighs, and like the guy kind of like rolls his eyes, and they're like, the guy goes, "Hey, um, no, no, it's not us. That's the uh it's the people who dwell in the walls."
What the fuck are you talking about, Pat? People who dwell in the fucking walls?
Yeah, so basically they live like inside the walls, like in the like in between the apartments and stuff. So like you
Between
can
the
just
drywall?
yeah, they don't pay rent or nothing,
That
dude.
that is such a small space. And they're fucking loudly every day. How are they surviving?
Well, this is like a there's definitely you're at this point you're living in like kind of older buildings, so there's kind of like space in between the walls, and that's where these guys go to fuck, and you're starting to realize that
Wait,
like
y- they go there to fuck or they live there, and that's just where they also fuck.
so according to your neighbors, Lenny and Jenny,
Oh
they
god,
they're a married couple,
yeah, Lenny and
and
Jenny.
yeah, and when they got married, he was like, "Look, you don't have to take my last name if you don't want to." And she's like, "No, I'm going to. It's important
What's
to
his
me."
last name?
Penny.
Oh fuck you, Lenny and Jenny Penny. Are you kidding me?
Letty's like,
Lenny and Jenny Penny.
Letty's like, yeah. So I can't really tell. I think it's just a place that like people are coming to like fuck. I don't know if it's the same. It seems like it's the same person, but I don't know. Jenny's like, yeah, it's kind of annoying. You know, but all you can do is pound on them walls, I guess, because cops aren't doing anything about it. We've tried.
They, what? Well, it's not. At some point, somebody's got to contact the landlord and say, "Hey, you got people fucking in your walls.
The
You realize
landlord,
that?
yeah, the landlord is out of town.
That it doesn't matter. Like problems happen. Somebody has to take care of this.
So he got um his plane flew over the Bermuda Triangle.
Pat, who the fuck handles his affairs when he's out of town? This guy's a
That's the thing.
landlord. He has
You
he
don't
has a
really know.
responsibility.
It's kind of hard to tell. So you're
It's
kind of
so
like, all right,
fucking
well, like
dumb.
whatever. And so you get really into astronomy. And one night you go up to this place. It's called Pikes Peak, and it's
The
like
bike
this,
speak.
yeah, and it's like this, like tall peak or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're looking out into this like sea of stars, and you're like, you know what? You realize in that moment how truly small we really are, and how the things that we think are obstacles and problems, they're just so fucking small. And you decide, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to open a hot dog stand.
What the fuck, Pat? Are you
You've
kidding
always
me?
in the back of your head really wanted to own a and operate a hot dog stand. You feel like like when you buy the when you like first set up the stand, you look at it and you say out loud, "Yeah, you've always been there waiting for me." It's almost like you're destined. You feel like this is like the culmination of things. You know what I mean? You're destined to own and operate your own hot dog stand. And you get that feeling looking out into the stars and just thinking about how small things really are. Also, there's a constellation in the perfect shape of a hot dog.
What's a constellation called?
Um, it's called a hot dog rising.
I see a hot dog rising.
Yeah. So you open this hot dog stand and you are loving life with it, Aaron. I got to be honest with you. You
What do
go
I call
out.
the hot dog stand?
Um, it's called hot dog, the dog pound,
What? Hot dog, the dog lounge.
the dog pound.
Pat,
And when people come up to your stand, you're like, "Welcome to the dog pound," and they go woo 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 woo.
they bark at me. I encourage it.
Well, yeah. I mean, you kind of that's like your whole thing is
Why
to.
do I call it hot dog, the dog pound? And but then when I greet people, I say, "Welcome to the dog pound." What
So
is
you
this restaurant called?
so
What is my food truck?
it's not a food truck, it's a hot dog stand.
Okay, my apologies. What is
It's
my
okay.
hot dog stand called?
It's called the dog pound, but you put hot dog, the dog pound, just so people walking by see the sign and they go, "Oh, it's a hot dog place," you know?
Man, that sucks. How confusing.
You
Hey, do
go
you want to
out.
go get? Do you want to go to Hot Dog the Dog Pound? Have you ever been to the Dog Pound?
So you're owning and operating the dog pound, and
God damn it!
I got to be honest with you, Aaron, things are going pretty okay for you there.
What does that mean?
You are essentially you're making a profit. You're not making a lot, but you're definitely not losing money on this. You still have
Okay,
like your job and stuff that you do, but when you're not at your job, you're at you're at the dog pound, dude. You're
working at
wearing
the Dog Pound.
you're wearing a green hunting cap. You've got a flannel jacket.
Why in a kitchen setting? And like, if I'm gonna have like stove on or like a heater or something.
Yeah, you have like a little stove next to you that you grill the dogs on. And
Okay, I'm grilling these dogs in real time.
well, not as no, it's like it's kind of a thing where like you grill a bunch because people are coming, you know what I mean? And so you're
Oh,
trying
okay,
to
gotcha.
stay
I prep
a
a
little.
bunch.
Yeah, you prep a bunch. But after a while, yeah, sometimes you do have to, if you don't prep enough, then you'll have to do them, live in real time. But you do some pretty good stuff there, man. You have one of them that you call the fat dog. And the fat dog is a hot dog that's just completely wrapped, almost mummified in bacon. And
Okay.
um also has like there's like peanut butter on it too.
Oh,
And
on like on the. Oh.
you would think it wouldn't work.
No, it's probably great.
It's fucking incredible, dude.
It's
You do a
probably
p
great.
well, you do a variation of it. It's called the PBJ HD, where it's
Does that
peanut
stand for
butter
peanut butter jelly hot dog? Is that what that stands for?
yeah.
God damn it.
And that one is like very popular with like the ladies for some reason. For some
So it's
reason,
the same thing, but it has jelly on it as well? Or does it still have the bacon or no?
there's no bacon on it. No, no,
Okay,
no. I
this is a
mean,
PB&J dog.
it's a PB&J HD. But if somebody orders it, you'll go. There's not for a slight upcharge. You can put bacon on it, and so you go. Do you want that like regular or do you want it fat boy style?
Oh no.
And
Anything I put bacon on, I refer to it as being fat boy style.
fat boy style. Yeah. So things are going pretty okay for it. Um One day you were doing so you were doing a gig in a so there was a group of people, and this all came out in the newspaper and stuff, who they were all like living in the woods, and everybody there was made to believe that it was like the year like 1860 or whatever, and they were all living like people back then, talking super proper and like living in log cabins and shit and like all that stuff. And however, it's not 1860, it's present day. And so these are a group of people who are kind of reacclimating into like modern day. So it's 160 years in the future to them. So, they're a little you know, shell shocked.
Sure.
So part of the thing that they're doing is they're introducing modern like culture to these people, who were led astray by the the village elders. So um part of it is they're like, yeah, we want you to come and do some stand-up comedy. and bring those delicious hot dogs with you. There's a
So
few
I'm
other.
going there to do comedy and hot dogs.
Yeah, it's because it's showing them like, hey, like, because they've never had a hot dog before. They've never even seen stand up comedy. They don't know what it is. And so there's a few they're basically doing like a presentation almost where it's like a bunch of different modern day forms of entertainment. So uh, there's a magician who goes there and does like sleight of hand tricks and stuff like that, and it freaks these people the fuck out.
Yeah, I bet.
They
I bet it
think that
would.
they like they actually had to like pause it for a few minutes because people were just like, what lord do you serve, like screaming at him and stuff like.
Jesus.
So there's a few pro wrestlers. uh they bring like a ring and performance stuff. uh you watch that, it's pretty good. There's this guy, his name is Russell Powerbomb. He's like the good guy. He's fighting the villain. The heel is this guy. His name is Mr. Money. He's like the guy who like owns the Federation or whatever.
Okay, he's got her in
In the
charge. He's the Vince McMahon of this world.
Yep. And then
Okay.
however, in the middle of their performance, you hear someone go like, you hear like the announcer be like, "Oh, what is that smell? By God, that's the Dirty Man's theme
Oh
smell."
no, he's
And you
back.
and you look over and you're like, "Huh?" And like running towards the fucking ring is this guy. He's just like covered in garbage, the Dirty Man, and the crowd's like going crazy. Um, so you do stand up.
Fucking dirty man.
The Dirty Man. It goes about as well as you know what? It goes a little bit better than you think it's going to because, like, these people, they have no idea what stand up is, but, they know what like stories are, So you kind of
Sure,
like,
sure.
you spin a few yarns. They can't relate to any of it, but they're like, wow, that sounds cool. They're like, so they're like, I don't, so you
That's how I
can,
love my
so
comedy to be received. That was cool.
they're like,
Yeah, that was cool. Real
they're
cool.
like, so, so you have like a box of stories, is what you're telling me. And you're like, no, it's a TV. It's not, no. You try to explain what it is, and they're like, do you understand now? And they're like, yeah. You can tell they fucking don't.
They don't get it. They don't get it at all.
No.
A box of stories.
They're like, they're like, you play him a recording, you play him the Black Eyed Peas
Why? Why am I playing on the Black Eyed Peas of all things?
because you said to him, you go, the way that you ended your set is you were like, all right, guys, look, thank you so much for coming out. Sorry about that whole thing you went through. But guys, my set might be at the end, but for you guys, the party is just started. Let's get it started. Yeah, let's get it started in here. But they all like dig it, dude. They're all dancing immediately. But like they're from the 1800s, so they're like doing like very like formal like dances. You know what I mean? Well, the
It's
black,
fucking
the Black Eyed Peas just echo through the valley, and so you
that
sell your hot
sucks.
dogs, and they all love it, dude. Like they have no concept of money, so they can't pay you, but they
Oh,
really love those
really?
hot dogs. Yeah.
Well, what the fuck am I doing, Pat? I'm giving away these dogs for free and like comedy?
You're doing culture, man. You're trying to help these people,
But
you
like I
know?
can't, I'm not gonna take a huge loss for that. I'm barely getting by.
So
I'm barely getting by.
so so you leave. You're kind of like, that was fucking weird. And you drive home and suddenly you kind of realize like, oh, you have a flat tire, your car's just going like dunk dunk
What
dunk
the
and you're like,
fuck?
fuck. So you pull over and you're at this place. You pull into the parking lot of an aquarium,
An aquarium.
Lanalax Aquarium.
Great.
and you don't have like a spare tire. You had one, but you don't have it anymore because you threw it you threw it at a bear. A
Why
bear
am I
was
throwing?
because you were just like you pulled over one time, and a bear came and attacked you, and you threw it at it, and drove away. So so you don't have a spare tire.
That
Luckily
fucking
though,
sucks. I wish that bear just would have taken my life.
luckily though, you have like a AAA thing.
Okay.
So you call them. They're like, you're like, yeah, I need a tire, and they're like, all right, definitely, we got you covered. We'll be there. There's a guy.
So
He's like,
casual.
oh yeah, this is a AAA's new thing. Is they're just going, hey man, we just roll with it. That's their new
That's
slogan.
their new thing. We just roll with it.
When you call, they don't even ask you for your like member ID number. They're just like, hey man, we trust you. It's
What?
so what? Yeah, who? There's like a new CEO. This guy of AAA. Uh, his name is Lax Daniels, and his thing is like, hey man, it's like, yeah, I might be like a multi-billionaire, but like I'm a hippie at heart.
What the fuck? This guy sucks.
Yeah, yeah, he is costing them a lot of money. But so you're kind of just like, so they're like, all right, we'll surf on over there soon. We actually have a guy finishing up a job nearby there. So it'd probably be about like 45 minutes or so, my man. You're like, all right,
This this guy fucking sucks.
why?
Why do you think, Pat?
He's
He
just trying to
fucking
bring he's trying to bring a chill vibe to, roadside assistance. No big deal.
I don't like this guy at all.
So you hang up and you're like, all right. You're like, well, fuck it. You go inside the aquarium. You walk in. Luckily they have a policy that if you get a flat tire, then you can get in for free.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So you're like, all right. And so you go in and you start like looking around. And you kind of get lost. Not lost as in, physically lost. Lost as in lost in the moment. You're walking around, you're seeing just the most brightly colored fish you've ever seen in your fucking life. You kind of remember that sunset that got this whole thing started.
Yeah, right before I saw my neighbor's burnt orange ass.
Yeah. You walk into this one part of the aquarium, and you kind of like stop and look at your phone. You got like, still about 20-25 minutes before the guy gets there. He texts you. He's like, I'm on the way. But he writes, I'm on the way. Like it's so many A's. This, yeah.
Guy sucks too.
He recently learned English and he just is having so much fun with it.
Oh yeah, good for him.
Yeah. So he just like loves shit like that. So
Yeah,
you kind of like smile a little bit looking at it from this the message from this guy Olaf Grovesner. And so
that's a
as you
what an unfortunate name.
yeah, it's normal where he's from.
Olaf.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I bet people in America like look at him sideways, you know.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I don't know.
I think they do. Anybody with a foreign name in America gets that, I bet.
Maybe. Yeah. So you kind of wonder that to yourself. You're like
Olaf.
you're like, do foreign people have problems? And you're kind of like thinking about that. And
Yeah,
then
that's my big thought.
yeah,
Do foreign people have problems?
and then you hear Aaron, and you're like, huh? And you look around, and there's like no one there. So you're a little weirded out. You kind of go like, oh, maybe it was like, I don't know, some sort of auditory hallucination or something. And then you like kind of start to walk out, and you hear Aaron, I'm right here. And you go, what the fuck? And you turn around, and you hear like you hear in your head over here, Aaron. You're like a duk, duk, duk. And you look over and kind of like not pounding on the glass, but kind of just like kind of touching it like that to get your attention is this gigantic octopus.
God,
And he goes, you hear in your head, hey, Aaron, yep, over here. Yep.
this fucking
He goes, yep, it's telepathy. He's like, "What's up, Aaron? My name's Ollie the Octopus." So,
How long has it been, Ollie?
Ollie the Octopus is this. So essentially, there was this guy Ollie who was a criminal, and he was like betrayed by his like criminal fellowship, and they killed him. However, his brain was somehow like put into the body of an octopus, and it has like mental powers. So that's how I was able to talk to you. He's like,
That
Aaron.
sucks.
He goes, Aaron, I gotta get out of here. He's like, Aaron, look, if you can help me get out of here and just, you have no idea how fucking boring it is in here. Help me get out of here, and I will give you the capital you need to take the dog pound to the next level. He's like, he goes, I have
I'm not gonna get
access.
you out.
He goes, I have access to a
What the
lot of
fuck?
money. I know where it's hidden before they whacked me. Two in the back of the head. See?
I'm not helping an octopus escape. I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna just implicitly trust this octopus that's been possessed by a gangster. Why would I trust that person in any form they take?
He goes, all right, look, what if I showed you where the money was first? Then would you help me?
I mean, maybe.
So he kind of like the octopus does this thing where it takes two tentacles and like touches the side of his head like this, where he's
Yeah, yeah. He's
like
thinking.
Professor X, and
Yeah.
then suddenly you have like a crisp, clear image in your mind.
Oh, I'm not gonna trust that at all.
It's an Applebee's. Uh, he's like, and then there's like an arrow pointing at the Applebee's. He's like, the money is hidden inside an employee um locker. Locker 69. He
Great.
goes, I
They
got
have that
got
many
it.
lockers at an Applebee's?
Yeah, it's the largest Applebee's in Los Angeles.
Oh, Jesus.
And so there's like several stories. And so he's like, all you gotta do is just go in there, go to number 69, get the duffel bag. He goes, come on, man.
How am I gonna get into this locker?
He's like, I don't know, just fucking walk in.
Yeah,
What are they
but
gonna do?
do you have the combination? Like, how am I supposed to get into it?
He's like, yeah, the
I'm not gonna be able
combination.
to break. I'm not gonna be able to break into a fucking physical locker at an Applebee's during service hours. I'm gonna get busted immediately.
No.
Immediately.
He's like, no, the locker room is like it's like way in the back, you know? And
Yeah,
he's
but
like,
I'm not
look,
gonna be able to break a fucking locker.
he goes, all right, well, I'll give you the code. It's 420.
God damn it.
And then you hear him like go,
Fine.
he just like laughs a little bit.
I'm gonna go find that money first.
He's like, go ahead, Aaron. He goes, don't worry, I'll be here.
Yeah. So yeah, I would go to the Applebee's. I would find locker 69 and use code 420 and get the duffel bag.
You walk out to your car, and the AAA guy is there. He's like, yeah, I fixed your tire. And you're like, hell yeah.
Umar,
Yeah. And
say
so
thank you, Umar.
he's like, no problem. And he drives away, just blasting like just Euro trash, like house music.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. Good for him.
So you
I like
drive to
Umar.
this. Yeah. Yeah, he's an okay guy. He's from some, he doesn't tell you exactly where he's from, but it's some kind of like vaguely European country.
Sure.
Almost Swedish, a little bit of German, maybe. Maybe a little bit of Swiss. Who fucking knows? Speaking of Swiss, you're like, time to go to fucking Applebee's, baby. And
Okay.
you think you drive there and you drive to the largest Applebee's in Los Angeles. You walk in and they're like, oh, table for one. And you're like, No. And you just like walk past her. You walk like all the way to the back, where the locker room is. You walk in and like just head straight towards locker number 69. And there's like and people in there, but a few people like don't even look up when you walk in, They're like
Yeah, yeah.
they're just sort of a lot of them are like so there's this new policy at Applebee's where they change the menu every like 2 months. And so you have to like relearn a new menu, every single
Oh, that
time. So
sucks.
yeah, it's kind of yeah, so it kind of drove out a lot of the people they had working there, but it brought in a hungry new class. So you walk over to the number 6 9. No one really gives you second thought. Your fingers are like sweating as you flick the fucking lock to 4 2 0. Click. Just fucking comes open. And you're like, oh, it's 420. You open up the locker,
Jesus
and
Christ.
inside is a black duffel bag.
I
What do
unzip
you
it and see what's in there.
you unzip it,
Yeah.
and inside is like one of those um those like old school bombs that you would see in like
Are you
cartoons
fucking kidding me? A
where it's
goddamn
a
bomb.
it's like a giant bomb with like
A
the
fucking
the
bomb.
thing the like the thing coming out of it, and it's like burning down, and you're like, huh? And then you look over, and like next to it is like a countdown. It's like 3 2 1, and then the bomb explodes in your face.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, it vaporizes your entire head. And
Great.
so
Who fucking cares?
people like they look up and they see like
At an
just
Applebee's?
on the ground is just like this like headless body, you know what I mean? And they're like, "Holy shit." And then the last thing you heard before your head was vaporized by the bomb was the voice of Ollie the Octopus just fucking laughing.
Fuck you. Are you
He
kidding
goes,
me?
he goes, "Fuck you, dude." And then you fucking died.
Why would he do that? Now, like, god damn it. What a fucking prick. I didn't miss his ass at all.